We moved to Harvard, Idaho in 1933 from Spokane. My parents lost everything during the Depression, like a lot of other people did. An 80-acre ranchette that my grandmother owned, and she and her husband homesteaded it in either the early 1900s or the late 1800s. I'm not sure when. And my mother's brother built us a log cabin, so we lived in a 3-room log cabin from 1933 to 1945 when the war was over. The arrangement with the sawmill and potlatch was when the war was over, the people who were coming home as war veterans got their jobs back. So my dad was out of work then because he obviously was not a war veteran, he was too old. So my folks sold the place up there in 1945 and we moved to Moscow. I started the 7th grade there.
So when you were living in Moscow, did you go back up to Potlatch a lot ever?
When I became of age, so you could go in and I don't even remember what the drinking age was there at that time, but 2 or 3 of us guys would go over there on weekends, on Saturday nights normally, and go dancing. And they finally closed the skating rink down, and it was just a dance hall with live bands, and they had tremendous crowds in there in those days.
So what was the crowd like? You know, you go down there on a Saturday night. Was it mostly young people? Was it, you know,
oh, they were
mixed?
Well, you had to be old enough to drink.
Sure.
And we didn't drink. We just went out there to dance and have a good time. And this Janet Dial at that time, would come out. She lived with her family in Garfield, and she had a couple of sisters, or at least one sister. And they used to come to the dances, and we'd all meet there. Nobody dated. We just meet there and dance till they closed the place down and go home.
What are some of the musical acts you remember coming through?
Eddie Arnold came, T. Texas Tyler, and I don't remember any of the others, but there was a lot of
Country western?
Yeah, all country western, yeah.
And from around the country?
Yeah. A lot of them originated back in Nashville, Tennessee. They just had a circuit, and they had a big Greyhound bus, and they'd perform like at Potlatch, and then when the dance was over, the band would get in the bus, and they had a driver, and they'd drive all night to get to the next place where they're going to play the next night.
Potlatch was a big enough stop at that time.
Oh yeah, but they could. I don't remember how many people they would put in the Riverside Dance Hall, but it would be several hundred.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah, it was a big place.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it was a big place.
And people came from all over the region?
Oh yeah. And then some from Lewiston would come up because the bands were always really good. But the kids that I ran around with, none of us drank. We had no money to drink.
Right.
We were lucky to have enough money for 50 cents admission to get in so we could dance.
So they did charge you a cover charge?
Sure. Oh yeah.
And 50 cents?
Yeah, that's what I remember.
That's a fair amount of money too.
Oh yeah, you bet.
So is dancing the only activity that happened there that you attended? Was there anything else?
They had lots of fights.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, lots of fights because there was a group from Garfield, another group from Palouse, another group from Oakesdale, and they were just farm kids, but they get into an argument over who had the best football team or the best basketball team, and they'd stand outside, and 2 of them would duke it out, and whoever the winner was bought the loser a drink, and they sat up at the bar and put their arms around each other, and everything was fine.